Coming up on the Tiger Basketball Report, we'll be joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Skerry, as we review the Tigers' first 2 games of the season against LaSalle and Morgan State. Later in the show, we'll look ahead to the Tigers' exciting week of basketball in the Gildan Charleston Classic. Get ready, Tiger fans. The Tiger Basketball Report begins now. Welcome, Tiger fans, into the Towson Sports Network studios for another episode of the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm your host, Spiro Marikas. The Tigers played their first of 2 games this season so far. They split their results. First up, LaSalle. The Tigers came into Tom Gola Arena determined to get their season going on a high note. They fell behind at the end of the first half, ended up taking the lead in the second, but could not hang on. Let's see how the game progressed.
Introduced for the Tigers right now, and for the Tigers, it's a lineup we've come accustomed to see with one new wrinkle. Roberts, right side, rises up, and hits it. 3-0 LaSalle to start off the scoring. Roberts to the right ring, swinging to the corner, and now a 3 from Schuler is good, making our score 8-4 Explorers. Schuler, cross court to Ivory, Ivory for 3. Bang! Josh Ivory from downtown. 26-17, 9:38 to go. Kicks it over to Schuler. Driving, goes up, scoop shot, swatted away. Walter Foster. Walter Foster with a massive block on the left baseline. Floater is too long. Tap from Adalamoto is good. 29-19, 9:12 to go. It's around the Morcell. Morcell looking to drive. Floater in the lane is good. Mike Morcell ignores the contact and scores. 31-23, 7:04 to go. Towson trails. 2, no good. John Davis pulls down the board. And wrapped up. Hawkins wide open for 3. Hawkins hits the 3. 40-36. Byron Hawkins with the big shot. 2:09 to play in the half. Outside to Schuler. Schuler for 3. And good. As the shot clock expires. 48-41. 46 to go. Morcell drops it off to Parker Rivera. He goes up, tries to cut it home. He can't. Adalamoto still sending it home, bringing the Towson bench to their feet. 56-55. Too short, no good. Foster with the offensive rebound. Hawkins fires his 3. Hawkins drains it. 70, 67, 5:51 to go. Foster who saves it. Towson in the corner. Up and under, and he scores. Towson takes the lead, 71-70, 4:18 to play. Towson has thumbs up. Roberts 3, and he hits it. 71, 3-1 to go. Goes to his right, loses control, throws up a prayer. It's an air ball, misses everything. Foster has it. Adalamoto picked off by Schuler. Hawkins left it back. Foster left it back. Foster can't hit the score. 1 second left. 75-73. LaSalle leads late. He fires it deep. Foster picks it. But the buzzer's going to smell. Caught it with one hand, and he was in an awkward position. He had no chance to shoot that ball. That'll be our final score.
Wake Forest transfer junior William Adalamoto led the Tigers with 28 points against the Explorers. And joining me now, the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Skerry. And Coach, obviously you're not happy coming out of Philadelphia with a loss, but you had to be happy with the way your team played for the most part, first game of the year.
Yeah, more good than bad. Certainly, no, there are no moral victories, and we did enough to, to win the game. But I think like a lot of teams, we're still a work in progress. We haven't had a lot of practice time with a healthy squad. So, but it was a great crowd, and it was jumping up there. So I liked the way we responded, we fought. I like the togetherness of the group, all things that we're gonna need moving forward as we fine-tune some things that we are behind, especially I think offensively right now.
I know when Jarrell Benjamin first came to Towson, you were a little worried about his rust, and it took him a few games to really get going. With Moto, do you see the same thing? I mean, he did start with 28 points and 9 rebounds, but as we get into the Morgan game, he didn't quite have those numbers in game 2. Do you worry about him with a little bit of rust after sitting out for a year?
Absolutely, for anyone. I mean, and Williams William and Jarrell's Jarrell, and they're both fantastic players, and we're certainly going to be a lot of fun watching William over the next couple of years. But I think I think there's always going to be some really good games because his ability. Then there's other games we are getting the rust off, and we did have the same problem with Jarrell in quite a few games until things settle in. And I think the one thing we're trying to hop on with William, because he's talented and has worked really hard, is that one, we need him to physically impact the game, and two, he needs to have that mentality he had at LaSalle, so that his teammates know what to expect from him. And as we develop more cohesiveness and fluidity, that guys know what to expect every night out from each other.
Also in that LaSalle game, and I know you're always tough on your point guards because you were a point guard, one of the greatest in the history of Division III. Byron Hawkins last year, he had some ups and downs as a freshman playing point guard. Performance against LaSalle, he had 13 points, he had 4 assists and no turnovers. That had to make you happy. Yeah,
Byron's played well out the gate here. He's made a big jump. I was a Division III guy, so a long road from where he's at. He's going to be the key piece for us. These first 2 games, I like his grittiness. I like how he's being vocal. He's certainly talented. And it's going to be key for us, we talk about later moving forward, because Oklahoma State is a terrific team with super guards.
And we will get into Oklahoma State a little bit later. Time for us to take our first break. When we come back, we'll see how the Tigers faced Morgan State in their home opener at CQ Arena. The Tiger Basketball Report returns right after these words.
Rock and Jump, the ultimate trampoline park, is now open in Towson. Get big air and have big fun at Rock and Jump. You and your friends are sure to have a blast in our state-of-the-art jumping arenas. Want to be a rock star with your kids? Book their next birthday party at Rock and Jump. Our slam dunk zones, high-flying dodgeball, and super popular X-Beam make Rock and Jump the most rockin' birthday experience around. With a private party room and a personal party host, a Rock and Jump birthday party is great for the kids and easy on parents. Visit rockandjump.com for all the info or to book your party today.
Well, right now you can get 15 gigs for the price of 10. That's 5 extra gigs for the same price.
So 5 more gigs for the same price?
Yeah. Allow me to demonstrate. Do you like your pretzel?
Yeah.
50% more data for the same price.
I like this metaphor.
Oh, it's even better with funnel cakes,
but very sticky.
Get 15 gigs for the price of 10. And now get $300 credit for every line you switch. Now at AT&T.
Cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
How long does it take to change the game of basketball? Days, years, decades? How about 0.4 seconds? All of a sudden, big ain't so big no more. Small ain't so small. The step back 3 is the new dunk. Follow through is the new poster. Range is the new hang time. How long to change the game of basketball? 1 second or less.
Playing basketball is a tremendous education. I've always felt athletics and the CEA prepares you well for life. You're constantly faced with adversity.
It builds character, it builds leadership.
Our kids recognize the need to be successful on the court and for the rest of their lives.
One of these days, the air is going to come out of that ball. It's not going to be bouncing anymore. What are you going to do with your life? Get that degree, get a meaningful degree, so that whenever that ball stops bouncing, you'll be able to do something with your life.
Welcome back to the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm your host, Spiro Maurikas, joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Skerry. Last year, the Tigers traveled to Morgan State. They ended up defeating the Bears by a score of 51-46. This year, the Tigers welcomed the Bears into CQ Arena in front of a huge crowd for opening night. Let's take a look at the highlights against the Bears.
Comes near the three-point line, dribbles to the top of the key, going to fire the three-point shot, and banks it home. They are now in the bonus for the final 12:50 is Morgan. There's a drive and a shot banked home by Thomas. Back up top, Cameron. Right side, gets it to Carr, going to put up the jump shot, and he banks it home. It's a 2-point shot. Hawkins feeds left side to Davis. He'll launch a 3-point shot, and he hits. No, they say a 2. His foot on the line. The right corner, 3-point shot. No good by Redmond. Rebound by Morgan. This loses control, gets it back. 10 on the shot clock.
Now they're in trouble, see?
Keith back over to Davis.
Oh,
He'll put
here
up
we
a
go.
3-point shot, and he hits it. Dribbling to the top of the key, to the foul line. Loses control, but the ball rolls out to Pretlow. 4 on the shot clock. Drives, lays it up, and scores. Cameron to Tretlow, drives, puts it up. Pretlow to the foul line, drives, lays it up, and scores. Pretlow with 6. Tigers up by 5, 38-33. Parker Rivera steals it away. Tamaj, slam dunk, and the Tigers are up 42-39. Cameron up top. There's a drive by Thomas, lays it up and scores. Keith down low to Parker Rivera, drives, lays it up, basket good, and he's fouled. Cameron going to dribble to the foul line, dish it over to the right, feed it in the right corner, gets it to Redmond. Now back to Horn for 3, and he hits. Andrew Hawkins for 3, no good. Rebound, John Davis. He has it stripped from behind by Pretlow. The 3 to the foul line. Feeds down low, Morcell, reverse layup, no. Foster the rebound. He puts it up and scores. Walter into the left corner, they work it. Now out to Horn for 3, and he hit it. 59-53. And the Tigers win it by a score of 69-61 here at Johnny Unitas Stadium.
So the Tigers held on to beat the Bears 69-61 behind John Davis's 16 points, Byron Hawkins with 15. In this game, first off, good environment, good energy from the crowd, and I think your team kind of fed off of that a little bit.
Yeah, it was great atmosphere here. We appreciate everyone that came out. Our guys were excited to play. I think we were a little bit too excited, especially on offense, and that caused us to turn the ball over a lot. And we, when I watched it after the game, the tape, we just had a lot of plays at the rim, layups and offensive rebounds. We just didn't convert. I think a lot of that had to do with just not letting the game come to us a little bit. I thought we guarded and rebounded really well, and then we got to the foul line, which we do as well as anybody in the country.
I know you were worried that Morgan was going to get you into kind of a herky-jerky ball game and not much of a flow, and they kind of did that.
Absolutely. They played all zone, much like LaSalle did, and I thought we were a little bit impatient, and they're really small and fast and shoot a lot of threes, so they present challenges on that end. But I thought for the most part, probably up until the first couple minutes of the game and then maybe the last 3 minutes when we made it more interesting than it needed to be, we didn't guard the 3 well. Other than that, we did.
John Davis has been fighting some injuries and hasn't practiced a whole lot the last couple of weeks leading up to the season, but he had a nice game against Morgan with those 16 points. Where is he physically right now?
He's probably at about 2/3 of the way there, just because he had a month off, no practice. So we're trying to use, over these next 3 weeks, use games to get him back into shape, because we've got to still limit his activity because it was a foot injury. But we clearly need him. And the one thing I'm encouraged about is he's had numbers in the 2 games he's played, which is impressive considering he's had no practice time. He's not even close to, like I said, where he was. So I do think once he gets all the way back to form, watch out. He's a much improved shooter. I think that's probably surprised some people. Much improved shooter.
And a big 3.
Yeah, he made one against LaSalle too, and he's got such a strong will around the rim that he's gonna, especially when we get to conference play, he's gonna be a major force like he was a year ago.
On the negative side, one thing that has stood out is Mike Morcell in the first 2 games, just 3 of 23 from the field. You think he's pressing too much, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. I talked to him last night. I said, "Do you think you're a little bit better shooter than that, or are you taking maybe some quick rush shots?" And he is. He's, I'm really high on Mike. He's going to have a great year for us. There's no question about that. I think right now is we're trying to get him to calm down a little bit, let the game come to him, realize there are no 10-point plays. I told him last night, he told me his favorite football running back was Adrian Peterson. I said, if Adrian Peterson broke off every play and tried to, they're supposed to go right, cut it back left, and make plays, I said, what would happen? He'd be hospitalized. I said, so we've got to get him just to calm down. He will, and he's obviously a key guy for us.
Coming up on the other side of this break, we'll preview the Tigers' next challenge, the Gildan Charleston Classic. The Tiger Basketball Report with head coach Pat Scarry returns right after these words.
the low, or is this the high? Just let it go, enjoy the ride. Without the low, there ain't a high.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
Mariner Finance is a consumer finance company, so we offer personal loans.
Mariner Finance is a great place to work. It's a great thing for anyone with the entrepreneurial spirit.
Everybody in every office has an opportunity to achieve and grow.
Be your own leader. Be a leader amongst the fellow coworkers in your office.
The training and development that we do at Mariner Finance is one-on-one. Someone who has been there, done it, experienced it.
There is no better feeling.
Learn with us.
Grow with us.
Run with us.
Wise Markets Ice Cream Plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How can you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packages of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome back to the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm Spiro Marikas, joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Scarry. This week, the Tigers are heading to Charleston, South Carolina, where they will participate in the Gildan Charleston Classic. Towson, one of 8 teams competing, live on ESPN, but the Tigers have one of the toughest opponents in the first round, and that's the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. Travis Ford, you know his team's going to be talented, and they're going to be ready to go.
Yeah, they're really good. Watched some tape this morning. Really fast, really good passing and shooting team. And deep, they get some big bodies up front. They got a guard, all Big 12 kid, Phil Forte, who he can shoot it from Oklahoma to Charleston. So he's a weapon, and really impressed with their team speed. Obviously a major challenge for us. We've got to be able to take care of the basketball, be really good in transition, and then take away the three-point shot.
The other thing you get out of this is you get to play back-to-back days, Thursday and Friday, have a day off, and then Sunday. That also helps you down the line.
Yeah, it does. It's what you get to see in the conference tournament. We're excited for the challenges. We're going to play 3 really good teams, and that's important to do, I think, in early non-conference action to kind of get a feel for where you're at.
This is really one of the first times since Towson was in the preseason NIT back in 1993 that the Tigers have gotten into one of these so-called big-time preseason, pre-conference tournaments.
Yeah, it is. We're really appreciative of the opportunity. I think it's great for our program and a long way from where we were a few years ago, but it's exciting. It's going to be a good trip. It's always bonding and come together. And like I said, it'll be revealing, good, bad, and somewhere in between on some certain stuff.
I know that the Tigers are playing at a much faster pace than you were playing last year or the year before. Is that a function of the 30-second clock, or is it a function of what you think you have?
Both. That's a great question. Both, and I think because we've got so many young guys, we've got a high ceiling. I think right now we're we want to keep playing fast. We've got to make better decisions. If shooting percentages are low and we think we have good shooters, that means shot selection's got to improve, which also means spacing's got to improve, and just little things about how we're delivering the ball, where we're delivering it, how we're playing off 2 feet, and just a product I think slowing down a little bit, letting the game come to us. I don't think I think the intent is good. Now it's the kind of the the nuances, the fine tuning has to take place.
The one thing that you are continuing to do through the first two games, which is a trademark of your teams, is you are out rebounding your opponents by double digits, and you're going to the foul line way more than your opponents are.
Yeah, those are going to be two key things. Is we need to do that night in, night out to be the type of team we think we can be, and we'll get tested this weekend on both those.
What do you look for in playing in Oklahoma State, and then you don't know who you're going to play the next day, either Ole Miss or George Mason? What do you look for to get out of this tournament? Yeah, as you mentioned, the bonding. I mean, the team's going to be together for a long time.
Well, we want to get wins, and then I think, we've got to guard and rebound at a high level to win a championship, so that's going to get tested. And then are we getting better offensively? Turnovers, shot selection, those type of things against good clubs, which is, it's on the fly. There's not a lot of prep time, but it's a good challenge.
How do you work that? Thursday you play your game, and then you won't find out until later who you're going to play the next day. How do you get the team ready for that second game?
Right. Well, that's good. Coach McCarthy and Coach Shingler have those two next to opponents, so they've already scouting those. And so right after the game, that night after we feed them, we'll watch some film and walk through whoever we're playing. And the next day, go back through that stuff again with film and walk through, and then play the game. But there's certainly nothing to do physically at that point. It's some more film work and then showing some things in our coverages, and then talking about what to expect from them down the other end of the floor.
Unlike a conference tournament where you win in advance and play the next day, in this tournament you take Saturday off. So what do you do with the team on that day off on Saturday, getting ready for a game on Sunday?
In the morning we're going to practice, not long. We're going to practice, get ready for the next opponent. Then we're going to have lunch, study hall, and give them the whole afternoon to enjoy lovely downtown Charleston, then a team dinner that night. And then we come back from dinner, one more time, film and scout report before we play on Sunday.
You also could have them gather around and watch the Towson football game.
What time?
Going on at 2 o'clock on Saturday.
Well, if we get that on TV, we probably will watch that, as long as we're not in study hall.
So this is a huge trip for you guys. Then you'll come back next week, play on Wednesday against Gallaudet, and then Coppin on Saturday. So, I mean, you've got 5 games in the span of 8-9 days with a holiday thrown in the middle.
Players like that.
Who does this scheduling?
Well, I do, but the NCAA, in the way it breaks down, it's to get the games in, it's jammed in early. Kids like it, and there's no better experience than game experience. There really isn't.
All right, Coach. We will come back. We have to take one more break. We'll finish up with the Tiger Basketball Report right after this.
AT&T presents the strongest of the strong.
Guys, in honor of Rivalry Week, we're gonna do something special. Whoa. Did you say Rivalry Week? Rivalry Week.
Rivalry Week.
Rivalry Week. Rivalry.
Guys, it's Rivalry Week.
Strong enunciation. Desmond wins.
Who's strong enough to watch the college football playoff with Bo? Get stronger with AT&T, the network with the nation's strongest 4G LTE signal.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
Rock and Jump, the ultimate trampoline park, is now open in Towson. Get big air and have big fun at Rock and Jump. You and your friends are sure to have a blast in our state-of-the-art jumping arenas. Want to be a rock star with your kids? Book their next birthday party at Rock and Jump. Our slam dunk zones, high-flying dodgeball, and super popular X-Beam make Rock and Jump the most rockin' birthday experience around. With a private party room and a personal party host, a Rock and Jump birthday party is great for the kids and easy on parents. Visit rockandjump.com for all the info or to book your party today.
How long does it take to change the game of basketball? Days, years, decades? How about 0.4 seconds? All of a sudden, big ain't so big no more. Small ain't so small. The step back 3 is the new dunk. Follow through is the new poster. Range is the new hang time. How long to change the game of basketball? 1 second or less.
That's going to do it.
This is the perfect way to go out.
Going back to the NCAA tournament.
We deserve this. We worked so hard.
I don't want to leave this golf course not a CAA champion.
Something we've been striving for since my freshman year, and I couldn't be more excited.
Welcome back to the Tiger Basketball Report. Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the Charleston Classic, and I'll leave you with an Abe Lemons Classic. The worst thing about retirement is you have no days off.
Good one, Spiro. I'll leave it to John Wooden. Talent is God-given, be humble. Fame is man-given, be grateful. Conceit is self-given, be careful.
There you go. Words of wisdom from the head coach. The Tigers will be heading down to Charleston, South Carolina to participate in the Gildan Charleston Classic later this week. The Tigers tip off against the Cowboys of Oklahoma State Thursday at 2 p.m. ESPN 3 will have the game, but Vince Angotti and I will bring you all the action on CBS Sports Radio 1300 starting at 1:45 with the pregame show. That's going to do it for this edition of the Tiger Basketball Report. For head coach Pat Scarry, I'm Spiro Maurikas, and as always, go Tigers.